Okay, we're live. Great. Welcome everyone to the final workshop in the workshop series for the Grant Factory Hackathon with Taiko. What a journey it's been. We've got a familiar face here, Jorrin, who's DevRel at Taiko Labs, who's going to be taking the lead on this final workshop, talking about how to submit your grant application. Just a reminder to everyone, there are 17 days left of the hackathon. And for this workshop, let me just double check that. Yep, that is correct. And for this workshop, feel free to ask any questions. It's going to be slightly more informal than the previous workshop. So if you have anything you want to ask Jorrin or anything to ask me, platform related, feel free to ask in the comments section. We'll keep it more interactive than usual. But without any further ado, over to you, Jorrin. Let's hear about details about grant applications.
Awesome. Thank you so much, James, and to all the DoraHacks team working behind the scenes to help us make this happen. It's been a great journey and a great experience so far. And I'm really excited to that we're coming into this kind of final sprint, so to speak, for people to start to submit their grants. I've been going through all the projects on the DoraHacks submission platform and sending messages to folks to kind of already start to polish up the projects that I'm seeing come in, and there's quite a few that are already standing out. So hopefully it's going to be a nice little competition and a tough choice at the end, which of these projects are going to win out. But I did want to reiterate for folks that even if you don't win a top prize for this hackathon, you are still eligible to get grant funding through the grant. So we're really leaving the door wide open for infinity projects. Basically, as much as our budget can handle, we really want to get it into the hands of people that are building awesome stuff. And so that was the major goal for this hackathon. It was to inspire people to build businesses in the Taiko space and to get them thinking long term beyond the hackathon. And so the hackathon piece is just the first carrot in a series of carrots to get your foot in the door, get some initial funding, and then have that milestone based roadmap after the hackathon to unlock additional pieces of funding for your business, so that we can really bolster the ecosystem in its very early stages. We're still under half a year old, and there's a lot of blue ocean, as it's called, to build into this space. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to be here and to see all the projects that are coming out of the hackathon. But yeah, I think I'm going to dive right into the whole process of what it looks like, because it is going to be a little bit different from folks that are familiar just submitting their build on the DoraHacks platform.
Cool. I'll jump backstage and give you the stage so you can talk about all those carrots and blue seas and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
Catch you at the end.
All right. So yeah, you guys can see my screen now. This is going to be the main landing page that you come on. It is from Charmverse. And so we'll make this link available to you all. But essentially you're going to land here. This is the platform we use for all of our grants. And we've made a specific track for hackathon tracks. And so you're going to come here and you're going to click on proposals, and you're going to want to create a proposal. There is also, let me just find it again. There is also the application process. So you can go through I'm basically going to walk you through what this application process looks like, but it is already written out here for you in full form. But yeah, so if you prefer a written document, or maybe you want to get this translated, you could into your own language so you can follow along. That would be an option for you. But essentially, you're going to log in to the Charmverse platform. You can do the classic Google login pathway, or create an account, and then you're going to find yourself back here on the grants headquarters page. And then you're going to click on proposals, and you're going to click on this little drop down here on the right. And these are all the different templates of proposals that you can create. And this is the main one that you're going to want to focus on. Hackathon grants application, pretty straightforward so far, hopefully. So you click on that. It's going to open up and pre-populate this page for you that gives you all of the headings that you need to fill in. And so let's just walk through what that all looks like. We're going to give a name to our project here. It probably makes sense to match it one-to-one with your project name on DoraHacks to keep things simple and straightforward for myself and the rest of the judges. But for the case today, I'm going to say my awesome grant proposal is going to be the title. Then you're going to put your email. I can actually just copy my email here because that's my email. Oops. It didn't copy. XYZ. And then put your Telegram here. This is obviously so that we can make sure that we're in contact with you. We should also have this through the DoraHacks platform. If you haven't given us that information already over there, make sure that it's there and here. That way, no matter what document of yours we're looking at, we know how to get a hold of you and reach out to you. Just going to pause and say hi to all the folks that are coming in here. I see some familiar names, some folks that have been with us the entire time coming to our workshop. So huge shout out to you guys. Thanks for coming. If at any point in time you guys have any questions about the process that I'm going through, or just in general, the Grant Factory process, or questions about your projects, even drop them in the chats, and I'll take a peek over here every once in a while to make sure I'm capturing everything. Okay, yeah, so forging forward, here's just a description of like what the hackathon track is all about. We're looking for high quality native projects. We're also open to existing projects from outside the ecosystem, but we really want to highlight and focus on native projects. But if you're bringing new features and you're launching your project on Taiko 2 from another ecosystem, then we're also looking at those projects too. So you're gonna want to add the link to your build from the DoraHacks platform. So that's literally from your details page. You can just copy that link there and you just drop it right there. Simple as. And I don't know why it's bothering me, but I want an extra line there. This is also kind of, a way of communicating to us the type of person that you are. So you can jazz it up a little bit, put some images into some of these areas and format it. It is basically an extension of Notion. So you have your typical / commands where you can do to-do lists, different heading sizes, tables, images. There's a ton of different options that you can use. So keep that in mind as well. For your project category, we're gonna want first off the vertical that you're building in. So either what was it? Work hard, play hard, and do good. You'll want to have that for us here, so that we can allocate you properly when it comes to judging, because those are the main verticals. But then you can also break it down more granularly into like DeFi, RWA, GameFi, et cetera, any kind of descriptors that you have for your project, the better kind of we can evaluate it, because we're going to be assigning subject matter experts to your project so that they're going to be really familiar with the vertical that you're building in, and be the best person to kind of evaluate you for at least the first screening process. And so, yeah, maybe it's worth actually talking about that screening process. Give me 1 second and I will bring that up. Okay, here we go. You guys should be able to see this now. So on the hackathon page under details, we go over to qualifications. And so, yeah, these are the main qualifications that we're going to be looking for during the first screening process. And, things that you're actually deploying your project to Taiko. You have a demo video, and you're clearly explaining what your project is attempting to do, the problem and the solution that you're solving, and then you're going to end up. This is the order of judging. The first phase is screening your project based on your build on DoraHacks as well as your grant proposal to a certain degree. You at least have to have a grant proposal, and you at least have to have the basic information on your DoraHacks details page in order to make it to the next phase, which is going to be a live presentation in front of the judges panel. And again, though, the judges panel is going to be a combination of internal staff at Taiko Labs, but more importantly, our co-founders are going to be involved. We're also bringing some of the VCs that we have in our community, folks that have invested in Taiko and in projects in Taiko and in other ecosystems as well. So some great high-profile folks are going to be. You're going to be able to speak to some great high-profile folks to get feedback on your project and also get a foot in the door to potentially get some funding outside of the hackathon as well through these VCs. So I think that's super important. So yeah, in order to get to that phase, you need to have all of those pieces in phase 1 to make it to phase 2 to do the live presentation, which will invite you to and give you a link to join if you've made it. And you'll give us that presentation. We'll ask you some questions, etc. And those sessions are going to be recorded, because then we're going to move on to the next phase where the judges are going to make their decisions and rank you guys based on their criteria. But the community is also going to get a chance to have their voice heard, and they're going to be able to vote on which projects they would like to see built in the ecosystem as well. And so that being the people's champion versus the judges champion, there's multiple ways of getting some funding. And the great side effect of this is that when you actually launch and have your debut on the Taiko space, you're going to be able to come with some community that already knows about you, because we're going to have some great media coverage about it. We're going to spread the word amongst our community to go out and vote and actually look into your project. So this is also a great incentive to make sure your presentation for phase 2 is really good. Really practice your presentation, have some slides or some visual aids that help people along. That demo video from phase 1 is also going to be important. So we're going to give all that information to the community. They're going to check it out. They're going to have a voting process, and DoraHacks is also going to help us with that. They have some really cool technology that we're going to be able to leverage in order to facilitate the community vote. And then provided you win a prize or you've been selected from one of these 2 previous phases, we then go into the final decisions and making sure that all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed, do the KYC, etc. And then all projects would then be awarded their top prizes. And then we launch and have a big celebration, a big party for all the new projects coming into the ecosystem. Then we take off with some co-marketing. There was a couple sessions throughout the workshop series where we talked about the Trailblazer program. Basically, all the apps that deploy on Taiko are going to be eligible for that, which again opens you up to even more opportunities to gain funding through that program, and is also funneling our users to your projects to take a look at all of them. A little bit more about what the judges themselves are going to be looking at. Or, of course, looking at functionality, want to see that your project works. But it's it's not the full part of the pie. We want to see innovation. We want to see your thought process. It has to have a good user experience. Web3 is critiqued harsh enough as it is for poor UX. So we'd like to see some great efforts made in that regard. If you have a great technical implementation, something unique that we haven't seen before, and then documentation, making sure that users, again, are going to be able to interact and reason about how your project actually works. Okay. So I took a quick little detour there, and now we're going to jump back over to the grant proposal writing part of things. Let me take a quick pause here and take a look at the chat. Product challenges, business models that conflict with subject matter expert. Conflict with. I'm not too sure what the question is getting at. I mean, we're going to be able to evaluate your project. I can't imagine a situation where your project is going to challenge the business model. You mean, are you creating a competitor based roll up in which we would probably not want to give you funding? I'm not sure what the question is. Maybe you can rephrase it so I can understand better. But yeah, okay, I'll just continue here. So for your project category, yeah, you're going to put which track you're in: work hard, play hard, do good. And then you're going to put some more information about specifically what category you're in, whether it be DeFi, RWA, etc. Then you're going to get into a more in-depth project description. Some of this you could probably copy paste over from your DoraHacks proposal or your DoraHacks build, but you want to really expound on what your project, explain what your project is to a lay person. That the next three sections actually are going deeper and deeper into that kind of realm. So high level description of your project would go here. Some motivations that you personally have. I don't know, maybe like as a founder or creator, your personal story of like what led you to finding this problem, and then what led you to then building this solution. So everything from your tech background, or if you're a founder, your entrepreneur kind of thing, like build us a narrative, build us a story, let us know who you are, what you saw in the space as a problem, and why you decided to solve it. I will go there. And then the impact that you are looking to have, you're aiming for. So this is more of like the nuts and the bolts of the total addressable market. Like, I don't know, maybe we think of an example here, like you're building a game or something like that, like a cool tic-tac-toe game. Obviously you want to expound more than that. I would say like 200 words or more, or something like that. And then your motivation is like, I love tic-tac-toe as a kid. Played with my grandfather, and we can't play tic-tac-toe on the blockchain. That's the problem that you solve. This is obviously a very convoluted, silly example, but I think you kind of get the idea here. Is like you're building a narrative, you're building a story. You saw this problem. You couldn't play tic-tac-toe on the blockchain, and so you set out to solve this problem, and you built your project. And then the impact of that project is like you've done research, and there are 1 million users in the world that want to play tic-tac-toe on the blockchain, as a theoretical example, and you plan to address this total addressable market with your solution, you're going to have these types of marketing campaigns, or this is your user acquisition kind of pipeline, that sort of thing. And then, we get into more of the project plan. What is the methodology? What are the technologies and dependencies that your project relies upon? Obviously you're going to be using Taiko at some point in your tech stack as the back end. But what else were you planning on using? Is your front end going to be written in React or Next? Do you have a DB portion to it? Basically all of the more nitty-gritty technical details added there. And then we get to like the heart of the matter. This is the milestones and timelines section. And so all of our grants, even the ones outside of the Grant Factory Hackathon, are milestone based. And you can actually see some. Let me just jump back over here. On the proposals page, where you selected create, you can click on this all tab, and it will actually show you a bunch of the previous grants that were submitted. Not all of them have been approved, of course, but you can, if you want to take some time to go through and take a look at some of the proposals that other projects have submitted. Maybe you want to look at some of the ones that did get accepted. A lot of these are in progress, so you might not, or maybe looking at ones that got declined and seeing what they did poorly. But you can scroll down and find some that pass through. So that might be a good resource for you guys to take a look at, to see what works, what we've liked in the past versus what you guys are putting out as well. But keep in mind that this is the first Grant Factory Hackathon. And so our criteria for your projects is going to be slightly different. We know that a lot of these projects are going to be a lot earlier stage. And so while we will still look for similar milestones, the bar would likely be lower. And we're also accepting other milestones that we wouldn't normally accept for a more mature project coming into the space. Yes, let me jump back over to this here. So some examples are here in this side here. So like an example of a milestone that we wouldn't normally have for another project, a more mature project, is the full product launch. So we're assuming that you guys are coming in and maybe you have like a basic MVP that you've launched on Taiko, but we want to know, like in your project plan, you'll probably have described like what your longer term vision is for the project, and like the key features that you're going to have for your project as well. And so when will you have that done? Will you have it done in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months? And so this section down here, it typically goes on a 6-month horizon. So writing down here, okay, I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to have my full product launch in 1 month. Let's just say, as an example, the source of truth is going to be, on chain. We're going to be able to see on chain contracts deployed, and the front end is launched as well. Right, so you're going to have your full product launch, all the features that you've described out here, and then you're going to attach an amount to that. I leave that to you guys to kind of figure out what makes sense for you. Obviously, the amounts that you're asking for is going to impact whether it gets approved or not. So be realistic, don't go overboard, and also don't undercut yourself. We want to make sure that you're being taken care of, and having the motivation and being compensated to get this project out the door with the hope that you're also thinking in your project plan or your business plan that your total addressable market that you've talked about in your impact is going to come along, and you're going to be able to start building your own revenue. So yeah, I don't know, $500 probably way too little, but you get the idea. You put some amount here for the grant amount that you're asking for. Then we also have something like, if you're maybe like a DeFi project, you will probably have like a TVL target. So you can put that as one of your milestones, and you want to get, I don't know, 1 million TVL in Ethereum, USDC, and I don't know, wrapped Bitcoin as an example. And you're going to be able to get that in 3 months, let's say. So you get the idea. You're building out like a bit of a roadmap, attaching some deadlines to them, and you're going to say what the actual milestone is and how we're going to be able to verify that you've gotten it done. Yeah, there's some more examples there. If you need any more help with that, you can reach out to me, and we can bandy about some ideas. Another interesting one that's probably more so for grant proposers is this partnerships and funding from VCs. If you're like pre-seed or pre-funding, then you're going to also probably want to like pitch your project out to other VCs, other people that will come along and see the value in your project and want to support you. And that's part of the value of pitching in front of our VCs, is maybe they really like you and they take you aside and say, hey, I want to cut you a deal. If that is something that you want on your roadmap, then you can put like, acquire VC funding, I don't know, seed round or something like that. And then you set a timeline there. By 6 months, you want to nail that down, and then you can put another amount. Cool. So yeah, you can expand this, I believe, by adding new rows /row. I think you can add more rows here. I can't figure out how to do that right now, but I believe there's you're able to. In any case, there should be like enough space for you to write, but if you need more space, we can figure out how to give you more space. Cool. Next section is team information. You're going to give, some description. Me, myself, and I are working on this project. And you're going to give, maybe some title, CEO, CTO, Chief Hype Officer. This is a place where you can give us, an idea of more of your personality. You can attach images here, I believe. If you do a /image, you can add that in there. You can add headshots if you'd like, and then some descriptions. If I can click properly here, what's going on? You can be like, I really like tic-tac-toe, and then expand on who you are and maybe a little bit of what you've done in the space. But then that is also the next section is you're going to talk about any previous work that you've done in the ecosystem, in the Web3 space, or even in the Web2 space. Maybe you came from traditional finance. Maybe you came from, any kind of, large corporation, or it's something that we might be interested about. Just give us, an idea of what you've built in the past that would give you the skills that would lead to your success in this current endeavor. Kind of like your subject matter expertise and your qualifications. Your budget, this kind of takes the funding that you're asking for up here and allocates it, talks about how you plan on allocating it afterwards. Whether you're going to be hiring, whether you're going to be paying for auditing, which is, an important piece too. We like to make sure that our community is kept well secured. So if we're going to be supporting you from a marketing perspective, auditing is going to be a key piece in that. And thankfully, we have hash locks on our partners as one of the partners for this hackathon, and they're offering up a great offer to any of the top winners. They're giving credits to use their auditing services, as well as lifetime discounts for their services. So as you continue to grow, you can continue leveraging that partnership that you're able to secure through this hackathon. Just talking about what your budget is going to be allocated to as explicitly as possible, and then the contact details. I mean, it's worth reiterating that if we can't reach out to you, then all of this work would be for nothing. So we have it in several places. Make sure you put your name, Telegram, email, all of that here, as well as having it up at the top, as well as having it attached to your DoraHacks build, so that we can make sure we're able to get in contact with you to let you know what the next steps are. Yes. So once you've filled all of this out, you're going to be able to, let's see, what reviewers are required to review a step. Community vote step. Okay. Interesting. Here to do review. I think this is actually because you might actually not see this stuff here. Yeah, I think this is not for you guys, but you'll be able to publish this this proposal, and then it's going to end up on that massive proposals list. You can go into it again afterwards and update it as time goes, I believe. So if you forgot to add something, you'll be able to come back and edit it. Yeah, once it's been submitted, then we're going to set to work at beginning to evaluate them, and that's where your contact information is going to be super important. We're going to go review it, and it's going to be assigned to a subject matter expert. They're going to review it, and then leave comments, and maybe ask for some changes, maybe ask for some more clarifications on areas. And we'll take you during the next couple of weeks. We're aiming to polish this up with you, going back and forth as much as we need to make sure that your grant is really well written and is ready to be evaluated for its final form. And yeah, that will then take us to the final judging, or the next phase of judging, provided that you pass through phase one. Then we're going to go to the live judging phases. And so that's where your contact information is important. Again, we'll reach out to you with a date and time. I can tell you now that submissions are ending on the 17th of November. This is right around DevCon time. So the entire team is going to be in Thailand for DevCon. And then we go for our all hands offsite. And at this offsite is when we're going to be doing the judging sessions for your project. So it looks like in the third week of November, thereabouts. So keep an eye out for the invitations for that. And we're going to set up a time for you to come log in and present your project. It'd be cool if you actually lived in Thailand and you could come give it to us in person. But we know this is and in this decentralized world, you're probably all over the world, all over the place. And so we'll give you a place to log into, probably on a Zoom call, to give us your pitch, and then we'll continue with the process as outlined here. I think I've covered all of the pieces that I set out to cover. Let me take a look here in the chat. I'm seeing some more familiar faces. Thanks for joining in, folks. Any tips on having a Taiko adequate personality? It takes all types of people to build great projects. So I feel confident that your personality will be adequate enough, my friend. But just let us know what your personality is. Put your own unique flavor and spin on your proposal. Anything you can do to make it stand out is gonna be beneficial to you. So yeah, that's what I'll say about that. Yes. Yeah, I think I caught all the questions as they were going. Hey, James, I see you back on.
What's up? I thought I'd just jump back in.
Yeah. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. I think it's just it's an emotional time coming to the end of all these workshops. I've been enjoying hosting them alongside you. So I'm sure everyone else has been, for the regular viewers that have been tuning into every single one, getting all the info they can, will feel the same.
Yeah. It is exciting. It's my first time running this particular kind of format. I've done a bunch of hackathons before. But yeah, adding this grant piece to the end, I think is a new thing, and I think is potentially will lead to longer lasting projects, more polished, like serious projects that are going to build long term. At least that's the hope. And if it's successful, then we'll continue doing these things. Yeah. I'll just leave this section here up on the screen for you guys. This is the kind of prize funding that is up for grabs. $30K per track, $10K for your first for taking the first prize, as well as these special prizes, the special awards for best business idea, most community support. So that's where the community voting is going to come into play. All these bonuses here we really wanted to gamify it and also align our incentives for long-term growth, long-term support for all of these projects. So you have upfront carrots and then carrots that you can unlock down the road as well.
Yeah, it's great. So inclusive with all the special awards in addition to the main prizes, and also with the grant aspect as well. So there's a piece of pie for everyone, or a carrot pie.
Yeah, exactly. Some carrot cake, anyone?
Carrot cake. And I wonder if anyone has been listening today is going to go ahead and just make that tic-tac-toe Web3 project. Just take your idea and run with it.
Absolutely. I've actually seen some interesting different forms of tic-tac-toe that could actually be an interesting Web3 project. Any games that have zero hidden information, that's a interesting aspect of it. But then now with the advent of ZK becoming more usable, we can start to have gaming things where you have hidden information, a hand of cards or different things like that. So I'm excited for the space and excited to see what people can come up with the new technologies coming out.
Yeah. Super cool.
Okay, I think that we'll wrap up this session here. Last call to action, guys, is we have 17 days left for submissions. Make sure you are going ahead and dropping your builds in the DoraHacks platform. We're going through and reviewing them, and I'm sending messages to folks where we need some tweaks or added information to those details pages. So really fill out those details pages as well. And yeah, get ready to submit your grant. Maybe it is worth also reiterating that once you have your grant proposal submitted, you could come back to your DoraHacks build and add the link to that there. So they reference each other, would just help us organize and pair things up and make sure that we know which grant proposal applies to which DoraHacks build.
Yeah, that just is worth highlighting. I think we mentioned it right at the start when we did the first workshop, but you can edit your build anytime up until the submission deadline. So go ahead and submit it early on if you want to get on the radar of the Taiko team. They can give you some feedback. It doesn't need to be a final finished product. Just make sure it's got the bare bones there, so you're ticking some of the boxes, and then you can keep changing it, updating and adding links as Jorrin said. right up until the end. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you have any questions, I'm always on Discord pretty much all hours of the day. So come find me over there. The link is here at the bottom of the page. And best to go ahead into the roles channel, self-select the developer role, and that will open up the developer category for you, in which you can find the Grand Factory specific channel. Feel free to tag me at Jorrin in there and ask any questions that you'd like. And yeah, I think that's it for today.
Cool. I can see that we've just shared the Discord link in the comments section as well. So if you can't be bothered to go to the DoraHacks site, then just find it there.
Oh, but you should be bothered to go there.
Hopefully you've got it up on your second monitor 24/7 as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, it's been a pleasure, Jorrin. But what a journey this has been. Can't wait to see all the finished products at the end.
Likewise. Thanks so much, James. Well, I've created the inception. I can stop sharing here. Yeah, thanks so much, James, for all your help in all of this, and again, all of the DoraHacks team behind the scenes. I really appreciate the support you guys have given us.
Yeah. Thanks to the whole Taiko team, you especially, and to everyone for tuning in.
Great.
Sweet. Okay. Keep in touch.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.